Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. I garden in Zone 8B in southeastern North Carolina. This last week has been so wacky with the weather and the tropical storm rolling through, and the last time you saw me, I was dealing with some flash flooding because my front yard went underwater. While I am going to walk you around the front yard, we'll see how high the water level was and all of that kind of stuff. We are going to be moving past the negativity and the worry that goes along with all that stuff, and instead putting our energies into something else. I would say that in general, buying things is not the way to make yourself feel better. However, that's what I'm doing right now. In fact, that's what I just got done doing. So I want to show you some of the new things that I just got. And since you're gardeners and plant lovers, just like I am, I have a feeling you know the kinds of things that I bought. So I'm looking forward to showing you my new haul and the goodies that are just here to cheer me up. So let's go take a walk in the front yard first, and then we'll get to all the great stuff. This is more or less the vantage point where the camera is where I was standing looking at my front yard, and maybe you can use that little tree as like a reference point. So my drainage swales were all the way full. The water then started to take over the yard. My yard, the water level was actually the same height as the road, which you can see is a number of feet. And then the water extended from the road all the way into my peninsula garden over there. And so, luckily, once the rain actually stopped, the water began to recede, and it doesn't take long as the swales are working properly, which they were. So let me just show you the water line so you can just see where it actually got to, and then we'll go from there. Standing here in front of my peninsula garden, and the water was definitely where I'm standing right now, I would just like to note how resilient our gardens can be. I wasn't exactly sure what I was going to find in the morning because of course it was still lightning out at the time when the water was up here, so I couldn't come and inspect and see exactly where things were at. So this morning I was so pleasantly surprised to see that a lot of things look normal. And I'm thinking, I mean, maybe it could potentially take a few days to see the effects of what, you know, when plants are completely submerged, like what might happen. But besides some things being blown the wrong direction from the wind or even the force of the water, whatever it may be, that type of thing, you can see the water line because like little tiny pieces of grass and stuff create that line. So I am going to turn the camera around and show that to you. But you're going to note while I'm doing that how amazing it is that this garden, half of it, was underwater last night. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, barely any even mulch escaped, which blows my mind. I thought everything was going to wash right back out to the drainage swale when the water receded, but it didn't. So you have a little bit, you can tell, a little bit that something happened, but not really. It's mind-blowing. Now, when we get to this side, however, you'll see, again, I'm going to get closer and point it out to you, but you'll see a lot more of this side yard was actually underneath the water. This, as I like to call it, is my island of misfit toys, or my garden of misfit plants. And these are like a lot of plant divisions, etc. I keep trying to explain it just so that makes sense to you. Don't mind the middle part. I have always had an erosion issue there, so that's not something that happened last night. Again, very minimal mulch washing down here. And now let me just see if I can find some great spots to really show you where that water was sitting. I inspected it a little while ago and some of them were more obvious. Of course, as things are drying off though, it's harder to tell. Well, anyway, the water was over top of this plant right here, and the mulch was, there was a lot more of it sitting on top of the plant earlier this morning that made it more obvious. But like this. You can tell here and into the yucca and over that other yucca in the back there. You can just see all the mulch underneath everything because the water just had raised everything up. So here, and with the lemon coral sedum, same deal with the hostas. And you can see as the water left here, all the runoff. This is sand, really, from my sandy soil that was left behind. But you can see where the water was just running from the top of the hill right back down. And this is what the swale looks like right now. Again, as things are drying out, it's a little bit harder to see. But if you look up on the fence line, you can see where the grass all was sitting as it was on top of the water there. And you can see that this whole way. And even if you look at the golden euonymus, same deal. You can see a few inches up where all the gross stuff was sitting. So over here, I guess I've now learned that this is cosmos that I have, and I didn't realize that. But I mean, please, this is nothing bad. I totally get that. But you could just see where the water came right back down from up here and just covered over a bit of the cosmos and one of my creeping moss phlox. And again, you could just see the remnants of all the grass that's in there. And some of these guys just took a little bit of a beating here as the water went back down. You can see all the mulch sitting on top of the blanket flowers, and the blanket flowers are clearly bent over, of course, with the force of the water. And again, this is just the end of my swale to my cattails that I was showing you in the last video as well. So now that we've inspected where the flooding took place, let's put that behind us and focus on my shopping therapy here. So I was lucky enough to have a gift card from a special occasion that I was ready to spend. So I went to the garden center today and there was like nobody there. Boy, there are really not that many people at the garden center right after a storm. I don't get it. Well, that's sarcasm, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in the garden center and see what I can find. Is this surprising? Like, what? Where was everybody? Anyway, when I went into the garden center, I was kind of surprised that, okay, first of all, there was nobody there, but secondly, more things were on sale than weren't. So almost the whole inside of the garden center was marked clearance. And that was a little bit sad to me because my growing season's gonna last for a while longer, but yet I understand it's time for them to clear out a lot of plants. So I benefited today because I got some really healthy looking specimens and they were all on clearance. So let's go through my plant haul because I think you're gonna love some of the things that I got too. This plant is something that didn't come from my haul today, but I did get it yesterday, right before that flash flooding took place. My friend had gotten this for me as a gift. This is the pink twister echinacea. I have been looking for it for 2 years or more. I admire this when I see it in other people's gardens in other places, but I have never ever seen the green twister, pink twister, whichever one, I can't even remember what it's called. I've never seen one in person before. I saw seeds one time and I should have probably gotten them and given those a shot, but I didn't. Well, anyway, my friend special ordered this plant for me, so she just made my day because after 2 years of wanting it, I finally have it. So this is something I get to add to my garden. Now here's one more fun item. I have a couple of head planters in my backyard right now that are both different from this, and I love them so much. This one is so cute and so sweet and like whimsical. Like, look at the flowers in the hair. You have a flower over the eye right here with the little kissy face. It's like that little tiny flare of romance to stick into your garden. So I got this from TJ Maxx and I just felt thrilled about it. I actually, if there was one that was even bigger, I would have done that, but my adorable planter. Now, sweet potato vines on clearance. So I got 2 of these. I was just saying to you that I have a sweet potato vine, which is a different variety. This one is Sidekick Heart Bronze sweet potato vine. The other one that I have in my flower arrangement out in the front of my walkway there, I said it was draping so long it actually ended up rooting into the ground. That is super cool and I will be propagating that one. But I found these and I'm like, you know, even though it doesn't feel like fall here at all, it is literally, the heat index is in the hundreds again today. I mean, the air is thick, it's so hot and humid. But I know it will be coming and I'm gonna wanna make fun arrangements for the fall. So $2 to get these. I thought that was well worth it. A braided hibiscus tree. This was half off. This is not broken, by the way. It's just something, maybe it's a heavy bloom. But the style bloom that this is unlike the other hibiscus that I have. I have a bunch of tropical hibiscus as well as perennial, but this one's different. I love red anyway, and I couldn't resist getting this. So if it was half off, it was about $9. Yeah, so that was worth it. Now here's a thing to note too. You'll see I got a couple of hibiscus in this haul, and you may be wondering why I would do such a thing when it's already August. But the good news for me is, first of all, it will last for a while, months yet to come. But then I do plan to overwinter it in my greenhouse, and I look forward to having the braided hibiscus tree. This is another tropical hibiscus, and I picked it for its orange blooms because why not? So same kind of deal. It was like $8 or something like that. So, oh, I forgot to bring it out. My son just got me some flower pots also for my special occasion, and this hibiscus is going into one of those pots from him. I got this guara half off. This one is called Beliza Dark Pink Guara. In my front peninsula garden that we were just looking at where the water got up to, I have one of these, and I had said in a recent garden tour I need a second one to make it pop, like make it look a little bit more full. And then boom, half price on this guara. And then finally, by the way, did I say we're sitting on my front porch because I need shade because it's so gross and hot out? I mean, begonias, your best friends, right? We've talked about begonias before, and the fact that once these guys start blooming, they just don't stop. So that is why I like begonias, and this particular kind of begonia you can also propagate very, very easily by trimming the stems and then just putting the stems in water. And then like 4 weeks or so later, you're gonna notice roots on those stems. So then you can put those plants into new pots and planters and all of those sorts of things. So that is why I love begonias. I was able to successfully overwinter those last year as well. So this was not being treated as an annual for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I will be keeping it alive. So I'm so thrilled about that. So, you know, gardening and Mother Nature can be tricky. It's really Mother Nature. That's really what we're talking about here. Mother Nature can be tricky and can make you sad and make you emotional. But at the end of the day, we just keep getting back into our gardens and keep doing the things that we love, keep surrounding ourselves with this beauty of nature, with the various colors and flower shapes and styles and all of that. and that fills us right back up again. So after a really tricky week, I'm thrilled to have some of these gorgeous beauties in my life, and I hope you enjoyed seeing them. Before I sign off, I want to say thank you to everybody that was concerned and wished me well, and I got so many wonderful comments after my last video. I appreciate that so much. What a wonderful gardening community we have here together. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, happy planting.